Ooh, that's a little crooked, isn't it? Good evening from the Flying Can Ranch down in Cedar Creek Lake, Texas. I ran into a little problem this morning, and we're going to talk about what I did to resolve that. I got a couple of issues I want to go over. So today I was shooting my Beeman. I believe that's a QB78S right here. I've reviewed this gun before, and I left some CO2s in it, I guess, for a while. I got them out. But when I reloaded it, everything went haywire, and I was leaking gas right here. So no matter how this went in, I leaked a lot of gas. I tried to loosen it a little bit, go back like quarter turn, still leaking gas, burned up about 8 CO2s, and just got mad as all get out. And yes, I have a little anger issue. At any rate, so here's what we did, and I'm going to show you a few things in the process. One of the things I went to seeing on this was that this seal on the end of this, and I'm going to show you very quickly. I had to move the camera, so I'm going to have to lean around. Was really looking kind of ratty. Actually, I sort of broke it getting it off. It was very flattened out, very crusty. So I replaced it with one of these right here, this nice green seal. I've talked about these before. This is actually an HVAC air conditioning seal. Once you get that rolled up on there, that will, and you need to kind of cover it up with a little bit of oil there to get it to go in. I'm going to put this back on here for a second. And you can actually, whoop, there it is. You can actually find these right here on eBay. They're not very expensive. These are HVAC seals. There's a little thing there that tells you what size they are inside the box. And in this particular case, I use this. It's a 9/16 by 330 seconds, or a 13.95 times 2.26, which would be the one right down here at the bottom corner of the box. And like I said, you can buy these right off of eBay, cheap. They're not very expensive. If you're going to have any kind of pellet guns at all that require seals, this is a good way to go. There's another seal thing out there I've been reading about that works pretty good. But you can see now when I'm, especially when you got a pellet up in there, or I'm sorry, a cartridge in there. See how that's got a little bit of seal up on that, very tight. I almost picked the one right next to it, but I rolled the one on it. It's very simple to do. You just kind of hook it with your thumb. If you give me just a second, I'll show you. Get this back off from here. You can just kind of hold the seal at one end and just kind of walk it around and then roll it down into place like it is now. And after I put it back together, got it rolled up, got my CO2 in, you will see that I had a lot of success with my little toy. So that being said, that's something I wanted to bring about to some viewers or anybody that's ever had one of these guns. It's leaking out the end over here. Don't flip out about it. You just need to get the old seal off. Get some of these HVAC O-rings. Put that on there. Again, I'm going to tell you one more time what size I use for this particular gun. I actually use a different one for another one I have, and it resolved that problem. There it went. So in that case there, that's the 9/16 by 3/32, or at the bottom it says 13.95 times 2.26. Then there's 10 pieces of each one of these in here. The other one I've got, I believe that takes a 17 by 2 type seal to resolve that issue. Fix that right up. Did a little research and figured it out. The other thing I want to talk about is I made a video about, one second please, things about scopes, things to look about with scopes. And one of my viewers brought to my attention that I missed one aspect of that. So along with making sure that your mounting hardware is very tight, this of course is a dot type sight, not a scope. He said make sure that your actual mounting hardware, Mr. Cahill mentioned this here, make sure all that stays tight. Another thing I forgot to mention is people talk about scopes going haywire and they don't stay on target. Well, the thing I want to ask is there's a lot of variance that can go into this, but one of the big things I've noticed in my life is when you set up a scope, you set it up for one particular pellet. But when you switch your pellet, you may very easily have to set your scope up again for that particular pellet. Now today I was hammering away with my little Crossman custom I made, and I could do really good with the JHBs. But if I went back to the Crossmans, I would have to aim off and maybe a little lower, you know, aim off to the left and maybe a little lower to hit the same spot. So I just wanted to bring that up too. But the main thing I wanted to bring up was how we repaired, one moment please. How I got this boy up and running because I really like it. I put probably with two, you know, because this is the type that takes one CO2 neck down, one CO2 neck up. And man, once I got this thing rolling, it might be good for pest control. I wouldn't really want to hunt with it. Of course, I don't hunt anymore anyway, but it's been fun. I put well over 100 pellets through this thing today, tearing cans up. I even put out some other cans to tear up. So it's a fun gun. It's a blast to have. Just last night I was even thinking to make a wood version of this on the stock. So I'd like to get with a company. And then I came out this morning, it's like, damn thing, it'll work. Mattered all get out, threw it up on the bed. Went and got my Crossman, thought it over. And I just want to tell you how I fixed that problem. I was leaking out back here somewhere. I don't know what to tell you yet. But that's how I resolved that problem. We just put that little seal. See, that's completely unscrewed. Took a little bit, pull it out. Put one of those up around there. And button that back up. You know, and then you're back in business. So I just wanted to share that little repair tip with everybody. And I showed you got it up and running. And go over a few things about the scope. Boom, that's how we do it at Flying Can Ranch. Y'all have a wonderful day. Boop, later.